Hi AP World students, Mrs. Longnecker here again, and today I want to give you a very quick intro video on the HIPP strategy. The HIPP strategy is one that we're going to use for what's called document sourcing, and we'll get way more into detail about document sourcing and how it applies to different areas of the AP exam. But for today, I just want to introduce this acronym as a strategy for you so that you can put it into practice on your assignment today. So each letter in HIPP, H, I, P, P, two P's in this HIPP, each letter helps us remember one category of document sourcing that we might pay attention to. So the H in HIPP is historical situation. And if you remember our previous video about contextualization, historical situation is very similar. It asks you to consider when and where a document was created. So when was a text written, or where was a painting painted, those kinds of things. And you think about what is happening then and there that might impact the creation of that document. So it's like mini contextualization for a single document rather than for a broad topic. The I in HIPP is intended audience. You are not the intended audience, unfortunately, of any of the documents that you will be analyzing in this course. So, who is the intended audience? Is it an individual or a group? And as you think about this audience, think about who they are, what they know or don't know, what they care about. Because a document created for a specific person or specific group of people is going to be responding to the needs and knowledge of that group. And so knowing a little bit about the audience can help you better understand how and why a document was created in its specific form. The next letter, the first P in HIPP, is point of view, specifically the author or creator's point of view. This is different from in English class. We're not worried about whether something is written in first person or third person. What we're thinking about is who is the creator? What factors about that person might influence their perspective or influence how or why they created a particular document. So you might consider gender or ethnicity, nationality, where is the person from? You might consider their experience with a particular topic, or their job sometimes could affect it. So for example, someone who is an expert in their field is maybe going to write or create differently than someone with very little knowledge about a particular topic. Or someone who is a newspaper reporter is going to write differently from a politician. They might both be writing about a politically related event, but they would do so in really different ways. And so knowing about the author or creator can help you understand what the document is saying or isn't saying. Quick caveat. With point of view, we want to be careful not to just say this person is biased. Everybody is biased, and we're going to go into more detail in a future lesson about that. So rather than saying bias, we want to think about a particular feature of the author's point of view that is significant. And the last P in HIPP is purpose. Every document is created for a purpose, and if we can figure out why a document was created, that can help us to better understand and analyze what that document is telling us. A document created for the purpose of informing an audience might be created very differently than a document created to persuade an audience. A document created to help someone keep their job might be very different than a document created to convince someone to fire somebody, right? Knowing a little bit about the purpose can be really helpful in understanding a document. Now, a question you may be asking yourself is, well, how do I know what these things are? How do I know the HIPP characteristics of a document. And in AP World History, the thing you should look for is what we call the source line. And it is sometimes given before a document and sometimes given at the end of a document. But there will be a line, an indication about the source. You will often be given the author's name, sometimes information about the author, sometimes information about the audience or purpose, and you will usually at least be given a year when something was created. So you use that source line. If the document has a title, that can be really helpful information. And then sometimes the document itself can reveal information about a particular situation, audience, purpose, or point of view. And you can look into the document itself to find that information. We're going to be practicing with this all year long and getting a lot of opportunities to think and talk and write about document sourcing and these HIPP categories. But for now, that's your introduction to HIPP, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bye!